Hello, this is Hans from Entropy, and I'm here to present a couple of records to you that might or might have not been influential as far as our music is concerned. So here we go. The first record that I'd like to talk about for two reasons. The first reason is that it's my favorite record of all time, Copper Blue by Sugar. And the second reason is that I strongly believe that you should acknowledge your sources, or put more bluntly, you should acknowledge where you're stealing from. And this is basically the record from which I stole probably half of the stuff that you find on our debut, Liminal. So hats off to Bob Mould. It's, I think, by far his best work, and that means something considering the other great stuff that he's done throughout the years. If you don't know this record, please do yourself a favor and check it out. It's, as I've said, the best record of all time. Plain and simple. This is the ecstatic music of Alice Coltrane. Alice Coltrane was basically a jazz piano player and a jazz harpist of all things. Don't think that there are many of those around. And in the 70s and 80s, she got very involved in Hinduism, and for a time she also went to India and lived there. And while she was there, she created these chants. She set these to kind of droney synthesizer tracks, and these tracks have been collected on this album for the first time, and it's quite an interesting experience to listen to it. It's repetitive, it's mind-altering, and you don't even need to imbibe anything to get a full psychedelic experience while listening to this. So I recommend you check it out. A dog on the cover, how could you go wrong? This is Vermont. It's a band that is not well known, and I'm not presenting this to you because I want to impress you with my exclusive taste in music. No, I think that this is one of the great records that no one knows about, so I'd like you to know about it. It's basically Davy from The Promise Ring, and they play very understated, charming songs. Sometimes it's not even full songs, it's just fragments. And this basically perfectly captures the spirit of mid-90s emo without ever being embarrassing. It's not sappy, it's not something that suffers from overblown ambition or anything like that. It's just a couple of very intimate, fragile songs that are perfect in their own way. I strongly encourage you to hunt down this record if you can. It's truly great. Now, this is the debut of a band called Murker from Denmark, and it's led by a woman who in civilian life is actually a pop musician and an actress. And she originally decided to put this out anonymously. And the reason for that is that this is basically a black metal record featuring guys from Mayhem and other bands whose logos I unfortunately can't read. And it's a perfect mixture of traditional, straightforward black metal and beautiful ethereal parts, which is a good thing because she knows how to sing really well, but she also knows how to do these banshee howls that you need to be able to do if you want to play true black metal. And yeah, I like the cover art. I basically like everything about this record, and that is why I think you should give it a spin. Now, every once in a while, I kind of get bored with melodies and traditional harmonic progressions, even though I'm usually a sucker for that kind of thing. And if you're ever feeling like that, I've got just the record for you, namely On the Corner by Miles Davis. It's basically his attempt to make a funk record, which is kind of ironic because I can't really imagine anyone partying or dancing to this thing. It's basically a couple of like one chord jams that are very, very atonal. The players just go off and play whatever they want while Miles plays keyboards in the background. And it's just a huge, beautiful mess, which I recommend listening to if you ever need to kind of clear your head. It's a really great record for that. So go give it a spin. Last of the picks, this is the debut record of Yagow, and this was obviously released on the mighty Crazysane Records, the same label that also brought you this beast here, our debut Liminal. And whenever you see the Crazysane logo anywhere near a slab of vinyl, you can, of course, rest assured that there is solid gold to be found there. And the same holds true for this record here. It's a great psychedelic desert rock record that is very textured. There are even melodic poppy elements buried in there. And it often reminds me of the time when Earth teamed up with the jazz guitar player Bill Frisell, and there's no higher praise than that. So get this record. They also have a new record that's coming out on Crazysane. I don't have that yet, so I'm holding up this one, hoping you'll get all two. That's it for me. I'm Hans from Entropy, and I wish you all good things.